Hello, everybody, and good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you are right now. I'm standing here in my kitchen after just being kicked out of bed by this gigantic voice telling me to just get my face out there and through the media, through the YouTube channel. And some people might call this an instinct, intuition. I call it God. I call it the voice of God, who has been whispering softly to me for several years now, and I've been ignoring it. But this day he just said, Grace, get out there, and just talk to the people, get your face known. And this is what I'm doing, and I am so frustrated. The reason why I got this kick from God on my backside is because I've been walking, dreaming, breathing, eating about writing my book and getting my book out there. I've got so many stories how I overcame loss and hardship to end here. I live now in Germany, and before that I was in England, and before that I was born and raised in Kenya, and by a single mom, and the stories that I overcame, and through the kindness of strangers, I'm here today, alive and well and successful, and bringing up a family, and working and living in Germany in a small village in near the Black Forest, in a beautiful region. And despite the pandemic, I'm still successful here. So it's just a lot of stories that are in me, and I just want to share it with the world. And now we are in a partial lockdown, and oh my goodness, I just keep telling myself, where do I start? I've started writing small episodes. I start and stop, and for the last years, 10 years, 11 years, I've just been starting and stopping. And one of the reasons why I keep stopping is I've done my research, I've attended creative writing courses, and I've bought the books, I've read books, I've read autobiographical books, fictional books, all the books, but my story is autobiographical. So I've read the books in this genre. I've read big names like Michelle Obama. I've read the late Nelson Mandela's books. I've read books by Mr. Obama himself. I have read books, The Life of Pi, the oh my goodness, the Liars Club. I've read books. Okay, and I keep reading books. I've been to bookshops. I've been to bookshops to visualize my own book there, and all I see are books about from authors, well-known prominent people, footballers, and footballers' wives, and TV personalities, actors, actresses, singers, and oh my goodness. And I just think, who would want to read my book? Who would want to know about little me? And nobody. Just a mother of two boys, just just like millions and millions of ants out there. I'm just one of those that I want to be author, and I just so I keep crashing down. And every time I listen to motivational videos, like recently I listened to the late Dr. Miles Monroe's video on how to write and publish a book. And he says we all carry books in us. And if you are a 30-year-old, right now you have 30 years of experience, of life experience and challenges. And if you're a 46-year-old like myself, I have stories of how I overcame, dear God, through the kindness of strangers, and through the grace of our God. I overcame, and I'm here today to successful and living and breathing. And so I must be somebody, to have overcome all that and hardship, and to be here today. And I must be somebody, and I must be somebody that other people or somebody else want to hear about. And people keep asking me, I keep getting questions like, how did you come here? What brought you to Germany? Why are you here? What are you doing? Do you have are you going to go back? And going back means going back to Kenya. I was born in Kenya, nurtured and in Kenya. And all this, and I'm just thinking, wow, it's I have so much to say. I always tell people, how much time do you have, so that I can tell you my story. And it's too long for just a 10-minute conversation. And a friend of mine suggested to me one day, many years ago, I think over 10 years ago, she just listened to a small story, and she said, write a book. And I'm like, a book? Who would want to read it? And that's how it's been. And I've researched and listened to these motivational stories. Like I was just saying before, the late Dr. Miles Monroe just said, get a prominent person, an author who's out there, well known already, to endorse your book, to write a foreword, the first page of your book, and just get these people to endorse you. And I'm like, thank you for that information, but who can endorse little me? Who knows me, and who would want to endorse me? And excuse me, my nose is running, so I'm just gonna grab a tissue. And so I'm just angry, and I'm just thinking, yeah, I have stories to tell, but who's gonna want which publishing house is gonna be interested in little me, and get my story out there? So I just thought, okay, you know what, God, yes, you have won. I've listened to your voice. It's got louder and louder and louder, and you've just told me, just get in this media bonanza out there and just get your stories, get your face seen, this face, with the hair, with the dreadlock, no makeup, just me, just simple you. Get yourself out there. And oh my goodness, I have read books, I've attended seminars, I have listened to motivational successful people who have overcome, and every time I read their books, I just think, that's me. They're telling my story, but in their voice. I want my story in my voice to be told, and I can relate to so many stories out there. And my story is just one of the motivational stories of how I have overcome, how I am successful in this country, being a Black female in this country, and daring to dream, daring to live, daring to be in a suburb, in a middle class suburb, after all the myths surrounding Black communities, Black people. And I'm here, and I'm daring to live this life that was just a dream many years back when I was in Kenya. It was just a fantasy. And so here I am, just as I am, and I am somebody. I must be somebody. I must be somebody to be standing here in my beautiful kitchen. If you can see behind me or at the top there, my beautiful, beautiful Victorian kitchen. And I must be somebody. I feel pain when I pinch myself, when I cut myself. I see blood running. So I must be somebody. So why are people saying new authors are nobody, so they cannot be successful because nobody knows about them? So I want to share my story. This is it. I want to share my story. I want to leave a legacy. I have 2 teenage boys. I want to leave a legacy in this world. And again, as Dr. Miles Monroe, the late Dr. Miles Monroe said, if you die and you haven't written a book about your life's journey, then you are a thief. You go to your grave a thief, because you have robbed the world a story. And maybe that story could have changed somebody's life. We are over 7 billion people in this planet, but maybe your story could have touched just one of those 7 billion people and changed their life, and you would have made a difference in this world to just that one person. So why didn't you do it? Why don't you do it? I'm 46 years old. I've got 46 life's experience that I could share. I want to share. I want to get it out there so that maybe one person can hear it, one person can read it, and one person can be touched and changed by that story. So this is it. This is it. Just simple me. And if you are interested, if you want to know more about this person talking to you, this nobody, no, not a non-author, I'm just a dreaming author. I have written and published and sold millions of books in my head, yes, in my dreams and in my fantasies. And every time I walk in those bookshelves, in those libraries, I see my book. My book follows me. My book wakes up with me every morning. My book goes jogging. Sometimes instead of sitting down and finishing what I've started, I just put on my jogging shoes and go running, or I put on my high heels and go shopping. I just do everything but not what I should be doing, because the written word out there, the motivational speakers out there just say, it's hard if nobody knows you. And then I think, okay, let me just go running, or let me just go shopping, or let me do something else but finish this story. But then again, I pick myself up again and I switch on my computer and I start writing, because I have two beautiful sons, and I just they're growing up here in Germany, and they have relatives. They have the dead grandparents are buried in Africa, in Kenya, and one day they'll want to know where I come from. They know where I come from because I've taken them several times, but they really want to know where it all began. And I have time and I want to do this for them. If not for the whole world out there, because I'm a nobody, but they know me and they're part of me, and I'm just going to do it for them. So thank you, world, for listening to this rumbling. But I had to do this because I got a kick in the backside by the voice of God. And it was so strong, so powerful, that I just could not ignore it anymore. I've been ignoring it. I've been putting on my running shoes and running. I've been putting on my high heels and makeup and going shopping. But this day is the day that the Lord has made for me to pick up this phone, to press that red recording button, and to present myself to you just as I am. This is me. So thank you for listening. Thank you.